Sorry. Let me repeat that. Good evening, everybody. The first thing we're going to take care of business today is a due process hearing regarding 76 Clinton Road property maintenance code notice violations, which has been a sorted problem that we've been dealing with for quite some time. So at this point, I'm going to delegate that process over to Kara, and you can take it away.
Thank you. So we're here for the due process hearing pursuant to Section 7310E of the Property Maintenance Code of the Town of Tuxedo for Paul Hoffman, who is the owner of property located at 76 Clinton Road. And on September, just the factual basis that led to this hearing, on September 26, 2025, the town building inspector served on the owner notice of violations containing concise and descriptive statements of many violations that were of the town property maintenance code, and citing and quoting the relevant sections of the code. The notice of violation ordered the owner to correct and remedy the stated violations before October 10, 2025. The building inspector inspected the property again on October 8, 2025, and issued an email report with photographs to the town board that the violations were not remedied and that the conditions of the property cited were essentially the same. On the same day, October 8th, the town board accepted the building inspector's October 8 report and determined that the property remained in violation of the code, and ordered that unless all violations were remedied and all unlawful conditions abated before October 10th, 25, a due process hearing would be held this evening tonight, October 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. The owner has received due 5 days notice of the hearing, which is required under the code. Essentially what the code provides is that if the owner fails to abate the conditions of the property, the town board and the building inspector have the ability and the right to take the necessary steps to remedy and abate the violations by entry on the property by the town, employees and contractors, and to pass the cost of that off to the property owner. So we are here for the due process hearing at this time. I just make part of the record of the proceedings, so I'll hand to the town clerk the notice of the order to remedy, the order that was adopted by the town board, and the report and violations of the building inspector, along with the affidavits of posting and mailing and service to demonstrate that the property owner indeed received all of the due process and notice that is accorded to him. And at this time, we'll open the hearing. If Mr. Hoffman is present, Mr. Hoffman has the ability to present his side of the case, present any witnesses that he may have. So I'm not seeing if Mr. Hoffman is here this evening. So Mr. Hoffman does not appear to be here. He's received the notice that is due to him. So the town board, it's not a public hearing. If the town board chooses to hear from other witnesses, you have the right, and the ability to do that, make it part of the record. I would just suggest that maybe any of those comments are limited to 3 minutes. And that's really within the discretion of the town board.
Okay. Well, I think if anybody would like to step forward and make a comment about the situation that's been engaged in it, they can have the floor. Is there anyone out there that would like to come up to the podium and speak for a minute?
Yes, sure.
Yes, ma'am. Please come up here, state your name and your address, and press your button until the light turns green.
My name is Myra Quinn. I reside at 80 Clinton Road, directly adjacent to 76 Clinton Road, the property in question. It is my observation after years, it's my understanding that he's been served before this September many times. And what I have seen is that they clean up the sight line from the road. They'll clean that area, but all of the filth that's in the back remains. And then they'll put a little flower pot out front and then smile and say, okay, we're good. And then everyone goes on their way. And no one has obviously been checking the back, which we've been living with this filth for many, many years now. And it's become quite traumatizing. As of now, and I submitted recent photos to Chris Watson, the garbage, which they refer to as the junkyard. I've heard them say it's the designated junkyard. They pile all their junk in front of my house. And I've been seeing this and looking at this for many, many years with nobody cleaning it up. So it's still there. The junkyard is there. The stench is still there. My family and I tried to take a walk out back and enjoy the fall today, and we couldn't because we gagged. And so we came inside. They can, corroborate that. So the chickens are all there. I sent photos to Chris. The chickens are still all there. They never gotten rid of the chickens. We have photos. I hear it all the time. I smell it all the time. The junk is still there. The junk back in the back of their yard is still there. So everything is exactly the same, except for the front where they put a dumpster, which I think is a show. It's another part of the show. And it looks like it's become a garbage can, which is going to attract a lot of bears and things too. And they're quite a threat to the neighborhood. The coyotes are appearing during the day. We have bears all the time that drag their garbage into our yard. So on many levels, they've been terrorizing our neighborhood and continue to do so. And is my observation that as of now, in the current violation, they have done it again. And they don't take it seriously, and they don't care about the court, the town, the residents, anyone. Total disregard. Actual aggressive behavior throughout the years, not just disregard, but threatening aggressive behavior over and over and over again, which the police have responded to many times and know about it. So I just wanted to say that it's business as usual. Nothing's changed. That's all I have
Thank
to
you,
say.
Myra.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience like to speak? Yes, sir.
Everybody, name's Dennis Brown. I live at 28 English Road. I want to thank the town officials for trying to address this. Everything that Myra says, I agree with 100%. I did make some comments on my interpretations of that new law and share them with the residents and board members. And I know you can't really answer questions we have, but at least you're aware of them. And please do the right thing and fix this. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Anyone else in the room?
Do something.
I think it's on, is it green?
And your name, address.
Just your name and address.
Anthony Valenti, 6 Wood Road, Supervisor, Town Council members. I just wanted to kind of.
So people on the line can hear you.
No, it's green. Okay. I just want to reiterate what Dennis said, what Myra said. I live next door to Myra. I see most of what they see from the front, the garbage. I can smell it. I'm the one that routinely emails the board on Saturdays and Sundays, and I'm trying to enjoy the outdoors, and then I can smell the stench from the property. And it's been going on for years. So I just want that for the record. Thank everyone on the board and the supervisor for the efforts so far, and hopefully we can address this once and for all. Okay?
Thank you. Anyone else in the room? How about on Zoom? Anybody out on Zoom would like to make a comment about this matter? Don't see anybody. Okay, Karen, proceed.
Procedurally, the town board would just make a motion to close the due process hearing, and then can make another motion to adopt an order that confirms the prior order.
So we're going to adopt the resolution first?
You can adopt, you could do that, sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is a rather lengthy resolution, but because of the subject matter, I'm going to read the entire thing, which we usually don't. This is a resolution in order affirming the prior order to remedy property maintenance code violations. Say again? Not read it fast? Is that what you said? I won't. So that's my motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion before we read? Okay. Whereas pursuant to the most recent assessment roll of the town of Tuxedo, Paul Hoffman is the owner of property located at 76 Clinton Road, also identified as Town of Tuxedo tax map number 203-3-6, known as the property. On September 26, 2025, the town building inspector served on the owner a notice of violation dated September 26, 2025, containing concise and descriptive statements of many violations of the town property maintenance code, and citing and quoting the relevant sections of the code. The notice of violation ordered the owner to correct and remedy the stated violations before October 10th, 2025. The notice of violation also specifically directed the owner's attention to Section 73-10 and Section 73-11 of Enforcement Code and penalties for offenses of the code, and a copy of the code was annexed to the notice of violation. On October 8, 2025, the town board adopted a resolution and order affirming the notice of violation, ordering the owner to abate the conditions at the property and remedy the violations, and setting a due process hearing for October 22nd, 2025. On October 10th, 2025, a notice of order to remedy property maintenance code violations and notice of due process hearing was mailed to the owner and to other entities with property interest in the property. On October 14th, 2025, the notice was served on the owner and posted on the resident building by the building inspector. The building inspector inspected the property again on October 8th, October 10th, and October 22nd, 2025, and issued email reports with photographs to the board that the violations were not remedied and that the conditions of the property cited in the notice of violation were essentially the same. The notice states that a due process hearing shall be held by the town board on October 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the town hall located at 1 Temple Drive, Tuxedo, New York, 10987, to allow the owner and others who may have a property interest in the property the opportunity to contest or otherwise comment on the notice of violation, the building inspector's October 8, 2025 report, and or this board's resolution and order adopted on October 8, 2025. The notice states that if the owner fails to appear at the hearing or fails to adequately contest the notice of violation as determined by the town board, or fails to fully remedy the violations before October 10th, 2025, then, at the conclusion of the due process hearing, the town board will order the unlawful conditions abated and the violations remedied, and authorize the town and the building inspector to take the necessary steps to remedy and abate the violations by entry on the property by town employees and or contractors and or others to conduct the work necessary to abate the unlawful conditions and remedy the violations. The notice also states that all costs and expenses of the proceeding, including the work and other expenses, shall be charged to the owner, and if not paid, shall be assessed and levied against the property, and shall be collected in the same manner and in the same time as other town real property taxes. A due process hearing, this is the part that we're just executing it here, right? Or should I read that too?
You can read it and
Okay.
just state that the owner hasn't.
All right, a due process hearing was held before the town board on October 22nd, 2025. Neighbors of the property provided to the board their comments and evidence regarding the conditions of at the property. The board has considered the notice of violation, the building inspector's subsequent inspection reports, and comments of the neighbors of the property. The board notes that the owner was previously convicted after a trial by the Town Justice Court by decision and order dated April 14, 2025 for the same and similar violations as cited in the notice of violation, including the keeping of chickens and egg sales as a commercial business and the storage of junked or discarded vehicles. The court ordered the owner to pay a fine of $11,000 and suspended payment of one half of that amount if the owner remedied the violations by May 16, 2025. The owner did not remedy the violations or pay any portion of the fine. In addition, the State Supreme Court, County of Orange, issued a judgment dated May 8, 2025, in favor of the town against the owner and others declaring that the owner's commercial chicken egg business on the property violates the town zoning code and constitutes a public nuisance, and permanently restraining and enjoining the owner from operating the commercial chicken egg business on the property. The owner continued to operate the commercial egg chicken business. Now, therefore, it is resolved that the town board determines that the owner, despite notice and opportunity to comply, has failed to abate the conditions and remedy the violations at the property, and the board affirms the notice of violations and its October 8, 2025 order of affirming the code violations. Although all of the conditions at the property cited in the notice of violation violate the code and will be remedied by the town, the unsanitary chickens and chicken excrement conditions and the junked inoperative vehicles are the most egregious. It is further resolved that the town, through its employees and/or contractors and/or others, shall enter upon the property to abate the conditions and remedy the violations. All costs and expenses of this proceeding, including but not limited to the cost of the work, reasonable attorney and consultant fees, employees' salaries and administrative costs associated with the correction and removal of the unlawful conditions and violations, shall be charged to the owner. If such charge is not paid in full within 30 days after billing to the owner, the charge and cost shall be assessed and levied against and constitute a lien on the property until paid or otherwise satisfied and discharged, and shall be collected in the same manner and at the same time as other town real property taxes. This remedy shall be in addition to, and not in lieu of, prosecution in the town justice court, and upon conviction, payment of a fine in an amount set by the justice court, and any other remedy available to the town. It's further resolved that the work which will be done in a safe and workmanlike manner is a seeker type 2 action and will not have a significant adverse impact on the environment. All in favor?
Aye.
Real quick, I just wanted to say the owner did not attend the hearing.
Yeah, the owner did not attend here.
Yes, okay.
Thanks for catching that. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now I'd like to make a motion to close the, this property maintenance, again,
Due process.
due process hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What was the next step? We just have to sign and submit the documents now at the end of the meeting, correct?
Yes, well, we can we'll conform the order tomorrow,
Okay.
and have that formalized.
Okay.
Place of them.
Okay, so that concludes this due process hearing in this manner. We will be communicating with you about our abatement time schedule as soon as possible. We already have an idea how that's gonna go down, but we would need to there's some logistical things in there. We obviously need time to get them together to execute them. So we'll be in touch and you'll be notified. Okay, moving on to the next, actually, we have, yeah, we're kind of backwards here. We didn't have, where's the section for comments on agenda items? We're getting any comments on the agenda items besides what we just talked about? Okay,
Hume, any comments on agenda item?
Maybe just keep in mind, that gets here as an opportunity to, I'm not sure if I already talked through new feedback on the new animal room.
yeah, that's actually gonna come up here pretty shortly. We have,
It's towards
Um,
front.
we have a couple of public hearings coming up here.
That's the second.
All right, so the first one is tax levy limit override, so I'd like to open the public hearing at, what time is it now? We need a clock on the wall.
Yeah, we definitely.
Make a motion to put a clock on. I'd like to make a motion of the public hearing for tax levy limit override 2026 fiscal year. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Are there any comments on the tax levy limit and what it means? Can we just briefly describe, Kara, for everybody out here, what the tax levy limit is? Override.
Yes, so the town board has to adopt a resolution overriding the tax levy limit. Each year, the tax levy is only permitted to increase by 2%. And so there's no expectation that it will be any more than 2%. However, just as a cautionary measure, in case the tax levy does increase more than 2%, it requires a resolution to permit the town board to do that. So
Thank you.
that's, yes.
Any comments on that?
I'll just say that I think it's important to know that we are going to do everything within our power to stay within the tax levy limit. So it's a progress that the process that we're working on right now. We have about another month or so to go through everything. Our goal up here is to not breach that tax levy limit.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
It's our goal.
Obviously, we have a lot of work to do. By the way, we will announce this later in the meeting, but we've already had 2 public workshops. If you're interested in how we get to these decisions, you're welcome to come and participate. Well, listen to us as we go back and forth.
No participation.
Yeah, no participation, but it can become very interesting at times. So if you don't have anything else to do, come on out and take advantage of that situation. All right, no more comments? Okay, then I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing on the tax levy limit override for 2026 fiscal year. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, next I'd like to,
Did you make the motion to adopt the resolution to?
Put it on the agenda item.
oh, we do have to do the
Oh, okay,
resolution,
okay,
sorry.
I have it.
Oh, is it? Yeah. We're going to the next look. Okay. Next one is regulation of animals. So let me just preface this a little bit before we open the public hearing, because I think you'll find the information useful. So I think you kind of saw what just happened in this hearing, that this might be connected, okay? So it's our job as the town board of the town of Tuxedo to always make sure that we're up to date on our current code. Code's a very important thing that we have. We need to follow it. We took a look at what was in the zoning code specifically. Everything that's in that proposed local law that you see right now was in there, okay? So if you have a concern about the number of cats and dogs, or no pigs, or the horses and their ages, or the chickens, that was in there, okay? The thing that wasn't in there was the actual town code description of it itself. You had to go into the bulk tables to find this. So one of the things I did was pull it all out of there and made it as restrictive as possible, because the best thing that happens when we're creating local laws is that you guys get to be part of it. And if we don't start out strict and endpoint at least leaves us some wiggle room to execute, then we both fail each other, right? So this is the objective going forward. And maybe I flipped the switch a little bit too quick on the actual first iteration, probably could have used a little more coordination. But in the end, I think it's positive because you get to see what's always been in the code with the exception of 2 things. The grandfathering rule, which I'm sure we'll have some concern about. And the setback for the chickens, right, which we reduced. Actually, we increased, right? Increased, yeah. So really, before we open the public hearing, keep that in perspective. That has been standard in our zoning bulk tables forever. So by the way, we're putting it, once again, I'm going to reiterate, we're putting into standard text and verbiage into the actual code itself under a section so that it can be easily found by anybody who goes into our onto our website and enters into our online code. So with that said, I would like to make a motion to open public hearing for introductory local law regulation of domestic animals at 7:24. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, who would like to begin?
I would just like to say, that, in reading the proposed local law, we recognize that there is some ambiguity. And there are some facets of it that certainly need to be reworked and reworded, and we welcome the public's input for that. This is obviously a work in progress. That's the purpose of having the public hearing.
Okay, who's up first? Anybody? Would you like to, sir? Yeah. Please state your name and your address. For the record?
John Horniff, I'm at 71 Juniper Terrace in Tuxedo. So no prepared remarks. I'll be honest, this kind of came up in the last 24 hours for me at least. So I want to first heartfelt sympathy, and I understand what's, well, I don't understand it from a firsthand perspective, but I can appreciate having my words, no one else's, but a bad neighbor that maybe exercises too much freedom and not enough self-control, and takes very seriously, I think, the responsibilities that come with the rights that we have in America, in the town, whatever, right? So whether that be somebody maybe who wants to exercise free speech to such a degree that they want to dress their house up with mannequins, or taking this to argument to the absurd in order to demonstrate a point, or somebody who exercises their Second Amendment right to the point where they commit gross acts of violence, for example. So I definitely recognize that there are ways in which people can take things too far. However, I'd like to just provide a counterpoint perhaps. And first of all, Town Supervisor, thank you much. Thank you very much for pointing out how you've approached the drafting of the law, starting at the extreme and paring that back in order to reach a reasonable, I think, resolution. It makes a lot of sense. From my perspective, my wife and I spent a decade in the city. My family's been in Tuxedo since 2007, but we moved in formally in 2017. And it was because we had our kids. Our oldest right now is at football practice, so he can't be here. And unfortunately, we lack a little bit of childcare. And so I apologize for any disruption that maybe the little ones have caused. William, you're doing a very good job, though. For us, a serious consideration in moving to Tuxedo, I think, was actually and I think this is echoed in the Historical Society and the approach that the broader town has taken to curating its future, is the roots of a lot of the families that were here originally. So we live in Eagle Valley. Driving through Eagle Valley, it's hard to miss the enormous farm that is there. And we moved and actually bought our house. And then in order to be a good neighbor, we actually bought an empty lot to the left of our house and to the right of our house, because we recognized that maybe raising chickens wasn't for everyone. But we chose to raise a small batch of chickens because we wanted to teach our kids the responsibilities that come with raising animals. So every morning they go out, they collect the eggs. Every week we clean out the coop. There are no smells. We talked proactively with our neighbors when we got a singular rooster in order to fend off hawks that were being predatory against our fowl. And this has been an enormous, I think, opportunity for us to instill in our kids a sense of responsibility, a sense of what it should require, again, in the responsible exercise of those rights, a sense of stewardship of the land. Now, unfortunately, there are people that don't take, again, those responsibilities seriously, and I can completely sympathize with those that go out there. So I've just concluded, I'm guessing, is that my timer? Cut me off. I'll wrap up very. No worries. I probably should have had a timer here or red notes or something, but I'll wrap up very simply by saying, I recognize the town's responsibility in trying to constrain perhaps things that are going wrong. I would just plead for some grandfathering. Fowl don't have a very long life, and our rooster probably has another couple of years left. And lastly, just I'll point out, we brought the batch of eggs that we brought to the Bonneville Fair up in Vermont, and our kids took first place last 3 years running. It's a source of pride for them. Again, of like the responsibility is being taken seriously. Sorry, thank you very much for letting me run
Thank
over.
you, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Anyone else?
Dave Nelson, 78 Arden Road, Arden. On the property where I live, it was once part of Arden Farms. That was one of the largest dairies in the county until it closed in 72 when I was born. Much of the infrastructure for those farms is still there. The bottling plant is right next to my property. The piggery and chicken barns up there. And the silos that everyone can see from the throughway as they pass through Arden. I keep a small herd of cattle up there. I keep some goats and pigs up there. And these benefit my family and my friends and my neighbors. I've never had any complaints that I know of from my neighbors. I don't have neighbors close enough to hear or smell what's going on there anyway. But all the feedback I've gotten from my neighbors has been good. when I look at the rules and regulations, I see what I'm used to seeing, you know, in villages and cities, where I understand why the regulations are there. But it seems to me that in Arden, it's quite separate from the rest of the things going on. And I would like to think that it could be exempt or grandfathered. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Alyssa Horniff, 71 Juniper Terrace, might be a little bit duplicative, but good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My family and I are asking the town board to please reconsider or revise the proposed regulation of animals law, specifically to include grandfather protections for families like ours who already keep animals responsibly. We have a small backyard flock, chickens, a duck, single duck, and a rooster, which we actually got on accident. The store thought it was a hen. It was a very interesting thing when we heard a crow one morning. He's become an important part of our flock. He's protected our birds from predators like bears, hawks, foxes, coyotes, even though we still lost a few chickens over the years. Every morning, the kids run out super excited to get the eggs, to clean the coop, to give them water, and they give them treats, they hold them. They're really pets and part of our family. Naturally, they've named a few over the years, some being Fireman, Bingo, right? Party Chicken, Circus, and our most beloved Chickaletta. It's taught them so much: responsibility, empathy, love, and joy that comes with tangible hands-on experience. Our 2-year-old even learned how to count, counting the eggs that we collect every day. By having these chickens, we've built family traditions. And every summer, the boys run a lemonade stand, and it's called Lemonade and Stuff. And the stuff is their eggs. And they just sell it at their lemonade stand, and it's super fun. Like my husband mentioned, we also have brought them up to the county fair up in Vermont, where they've won the past 2 or 3 years with their eggs. We continually check in with our neighbors. We make sure that our property is clean. My husband went into that, so I won't go too far into that. When we have more eggs than we need, we gift them to our neighbors. When egg prices went up, we gifted to our neighbors. It taught the boys about sacrifice, generosity. It taught them how to be part of a caring community. The law as written would suddenly make those family traditions impossible, and it would make some of our birds illegal. Every surrounding town, Monroe, Chester, Warwick, include grandfather clauses. It's common practice, so just encouraging us to take a look at that for families that responsibly raise animals and teach their children to be a part of that process. And I just wanted to say, just to relook at that and just understand our situation as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else in the room? Yes, yes, sir.
I don't get to say your name. No, I'm not timing him. Yeah.
All right, say your name.
Luke,
And where do you live? Do you know? 71.
71 Juniper Terrace.
Good. You want to read your note that you wrote? Your new law.
Your new law
What makes me
makes me
sad?
sad.
I love my birds.
I love my birds.
Please let me keep them.
Please let me keep them.
Good. I had told them about it, and so they wanted to write letters to you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please
thank
submit
you.
that to us, and yours as well, ma'am. Can you-
Oh, this is actually, I have an 8-year-old.
Okay, thank
He
you.
also wrote. So I'll just read this
Oh,
real quick.
okay.
His name is Jack.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yes.
doing that.
Of course. Say thank you.
Sweet.
Dear Town Board, I'm really sad if you create this lot, and I love my chickens, rooster, and duck. I've learned a lot from them. Please don't make this law. I'll be really sad. Let me keep my flock. Jack.
Anybody else comments before I have a comment? How about, yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Yanni Maris. I live over 25 Valerie Court. I like where the law is going. but I think it should maybe be worked on a little bit so that some of these issues that people have, where they already have chickens and, you know, I don't know where you guys live, Juniper Terrace, how big a lot you have. I know David's over there, he's got a whole farm. He should be allowed to keep animals, you know, 100%. Maybe if there's a way to tie it to lot sizes or, you know, something like that, would be my only comment, because I don't think that people who live in the country should not be allowed to have birds, and other animals as well, but maybe in the confines of smaller neighborhoods, it's really not appropriate. I know, we suffer from a nearby chicken coop. Smells horrible. We've lost the use of our outside. I don't know if 50 feet is a good enough buffer for the limits. I think when I read it, it said that the housing or the chicken coop can't be within 50 feet of a lot line. Well, I can tell you 250 feet away, down by 37, when we're like riding our bikes on the street, it smells like you have a chicken on your face. It's so bad. And I think you have to maybe extend the distances that you look at. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I wanted to say. Thanks for
Thanks,
giving me a chance.
Thank you. Anybody else in the room?
Thanks, Johnny.
Just a comment, not usually done, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So yeah, so all those things everybody said. I mean, we're all worried about the same things. We don't want to take this stuff away from you. But at the end, we have a job to do. We have to figure out how we can equitably achieve enforcement for those that don't care about animals like you guys do. Right? Because that's what it comes down to me. It's about it's about the health, not only of the people, but the birds themselves. Okay. So we do have some, language wrapped around our property maintenance code, which includes unhealthy conditions, just as Yanni has just stated. And I'd be interested to hear more about that, by the way. We're not here to take it away. We're here to figure out a way collectively, what's the best way to manage it for our community. Yeah, we're in a rural place. We can't not have chickens, right? I would love to have them, but my wife said, we have enough dogs, we have a parrot, we have cats, we don't have any time for that. By the way, the dogs and the cats will kill the chickens, whatever. But the idea of it is, we didn't set out to do this local law to give anybody any distress, right? Especially in some of the cases I've just seen. We expected that to happen. So we're gonna go back diligently and go back to work on this. We're gonna take all your comments seriously when we go back for the second draft. And when we come back for the we're gonna keep the public hearing open, and we're gonna continue to keep it open until both sides, the governance and the citizens, feel strongly that we've reached a great point. And keeping in mind that we still need enforcement in there to some degree. But there were some great comments about lot size and, setbacks, and we're gonna look into that as well. So, like I say, I think it might have been my fault that we got out there with that really aggressive first draft, but I think it works out good because it gets people's attention. This is the first time I've really seen anybody come to a public hearing. So maybe that was good on my part that we did that, but I assure you, there'll be no unhappy people. We just need to figure out a way to just move it forward, okay?
So Supervisor, you'll make a motion in a second to hold the public meeting.
Yeah, I'd like
open
to
with
make a
the date.
motion to hold the public hearing for the local law regulation of animals open. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And thank you everyone for your comments, much appreciated.
You just have to choose a date and a date for the next,
You have to continue it to this.
Oh, yeah, what's the next meeting date?
12th, November 12th.
Okay, so yeah, we'll continue the meeting on Wednesday, November 12th at 7 PM.
Thank you.
All right? All right, perfect. So let's go to department updates. We'll start with Kathleen in Recreation. Take it away.
Good evening, everybody. Just a busy month in recreation. Our youth soccer program at Uvard Field wrapped up this past Saturday. We had 32 children ages 4 to 9 participating. Big thanks to Isabel Thompson and her group of coaching volunteers who ran that for us. It was a 6-week program that went very well. Chair yoga continues here in Town Hall. We have built up to a group of about 12 now, so if you haven't joined us yet, please don't hesitate to do so. The election day class will be at the train station, and there's no class on Veterans Day. Otherwise, we are booked through the end of the year. Our co-ed adult volleyball and basketball participation is slowly increasing each week. That's open for anyone ages 16 and older. Volleyball is Mondays from 7 to 9. Basketball is Tuesdays from 7 to 9. Pickleball clinic has been running at Tiki Field. Roger Winan has been gracious enough to volunteer his time to run 3 sessions. We have a couple more registrations this week, so Dale will have company on Sunday. So our paint party night with Artsy Chicos is scheduled for tomorrow at the train station. We still have spots available. Registration is on our website. That's tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Our trunk or treat is also on Saturday this week from 3 to 5 at Powerhouse Park. We are in need of trunks, so please sign up on the website. We'll have some music and inflatables there. We're also starting a co-ed adult indoor soccer on Fridays at the high school. That begins on November 7th and will run every Friday from 7 to 9, again, 16 and older. There's a small registration fee that you can find on our website. Monday. And wrong page. Cousins Maine Lobster is going to be at the train station this Friday. We just got the word out today from 12 to 8. And the annual turkey trot is on Thanksgiving morning. Please mark your calendars and start signing up. We have a new timing system this year that will feature chip timing, instant online results, live tracking, and awards. So register now to join us. It's always a great day. And Christmas tree lighting is December 5th. Menorah lighting is December 15th. Parks and Rec Advisory Board continues to meet every month. That's what I got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Marissa.
Just going to give a quick update to remind everyone, early voting starts this Saturday at 9 a.m. and it runs through Sunday, November 2nd. If anyone needs the flyer, it's on our website, or you can just call me or email me and I'll be happy to give out the information. The closest location is Monroe Town Hall. That's it.
Thank you. And now I can do public comments on agenda items. I think I moved it up too quick. Anybody have any comments on the 4 resolutions on the agenda? How about online? Okay. Get there. Did that one already. Oh, no, we have to do the resolution for the
Yeah.
tax levy limit. All right, so agenda item number 1, resolution to adopt local law number 3 of 2025 tax levy limit override 2026 fiscal year. So I'd like make a motion to adopt that local law. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Number 2, appoint full-time automotive mechanic. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Christian Matthews as full-time automotive mechanic, job title number 1070 at an hourly rate of $37.96. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution number 3. I'd like to make a resolution to purchase a Ford F-150 truck for the Highway Department. It's a Ford F-150 truck from Schultz Ford, $44,637.50, which will be appropriated from DA fund. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, resolution to authorize J&G Law. Okay. Like to make a motion to authorize J&G Law for the 2025-2026 tax certiorari proceedings. Now, let's get the second first. Do I have a second?
Second.
Question to Karen. Is this for a specific tax certiorari or is this for the year?
Yes,
says
so the town board
526.
has already adopted resolution for our firm to handle the tax certiorari proceedings. And this was just one petition that was missed and it wasn't on that resolution. It came in later. So this is just one petition that involves 16 different properties within the town.
Oh, would that be the pipeline?
It is not the pipeline.
Says
We
it on there.
did already adopt the
Oh,
resolution
yeah,
for
I
that.
didn't
We already
read through
did that one.
Yeah.
it. We already did that one? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Other business, so we need to go, let's see. So let's make the motion first because we'll get it straight here. I'd like to make a motion to lease 2 patrol cars through Enterprise. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, you want to go into specifics, Adam?
Yeah, after a review with the chief, about a year and a half ago or so, the chief brought on and the town board brought on Enterprise Fleet Services for our fleet because it was way outdated. And what we want to make sure of is that our officers and all of our employees that need vehicles are in safe vehicles and they're equipped the way that they need to be equipped. These 2 vehicles, one of them is going to be to replace an older vehicle, which is approximately 7 years old with close to 120,000 miles on it. And the other vehicle is to fill a vehicle spot that we lost a vehicle a couple years ago and we never bought another one. So what that's doing is essentially, it's wearing and tearing on our other vehicles in excess because we don't have the proper fleet to move forward with. So it's not a good thing. So we decided as a board to go ahead and approve the chief's request for 2 of these vehicles.
At 17,000?
I would say not to exceed 18,000 per year,
Not to exceed
for
18,000.
5 years, yeah.
Okay. So let's make that motion again. I'd like to make a motion to lease 2 patrol cars for the police department to Enterprise, not to exceed $18,000 each. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Deirdre, you may take the next one.
Okay, so as most of you know, we are working on the revitalization of the Powerhouse Park, and right now, we've divided it into various sections. Right now, we're working on the dog park, and we have added a section for larger dogs. So we now have 2 sections, one for small dogs, one for large dogs. Thank you, although Rob is not here. Rob and the Highway Department have been instrumental in getting this done. And so now we're at the point where we're finished with putting all the fencing in, and we've been able to actually put in water. So in order to have access to water where people can't just turn it on and it just runs, we are purchasing a dog water fountain. And a dog water fountain is, so you push the button and the bowl fills up and it stops. So you're not running extra water, plus there's a section for it so people can fill their water bottles. So we have 4 elements that we have to add, which is rules and regulations for the dog park, what time it's open, people who have aggressive dogs can't be there, et cetera. I picked it off of another dog park, but, and then the sections of small dogs and what the regulations are for small dogs and large dogs. So I see you guys can see here, there's dogs, there's the signs. And then we also want to put in benches, 2 benches on each section of the dog park so that owners can sit, as well as appropriate trash cans and dispensers for bags. So that total cost will be an additional $6,000, which would bring the total cost of the entire project to $20,000. All of it is being taken from the fund of the recreation fund that we have because of the Lennar contributions to our rec. So it
No
is not a
taxpayer
tax,
money.
it's not taxpayer money. And I just want to note that the dog park is heavily used and is now going to be fantastic. We just have to schedule a party. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
no, definitely.
Yeah, so, anyway, that's, so do I have, I'm making a motion for an additional $6,000 for the peripheral supplies for the dog park. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks.
Go ahead, keep going. The next one. is
Okay,
yours,
the
too.
next one's mine too. Okay, so as you all know, we are actively looking at properties within town which would allow us to purchase privately owned parking lots. This would supply parking lots for the library as well as additional municipal parking, which is currently privately owned. So in order to do that, at the last meeting, we agreed to secure the services of Beckman to do an actual appraisal of the property. But after I looked at it, I realized that it was for the entire property, and if we were to split up the sections, which we intend to do, it probably would change the appraisal. So we went back to them and said, not only look at the whole property, but what would happen if we were to split it up? This would make it easier for us to, do site changes within that entire parcel, as well as sell it or acquire it, whatever we wanted to do. But it just basically does the entire foundation of the whole process. So with that, they've asked for an additional $2,500 to the $10,000. So that would make the appraisal fee $12,500 for the 3 separate lots of the library's parking lot, the building that the Reggie Bar is in, as well as the parking lot to the south, to the south. So that's it. So I'm making a motion to add $2,500 increase to the Beckman appraisal for 14 Store Road. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Supervisor, can I make an amendment to the annual payment not to exceed 20,000?
Yes,
Instead of
absolutely.
the
Duly
18,000?
noted. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, that'll be in the meeting minutes to change. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion, the town board accepts the minutes of the regular bi-monthly meeting held on October 8th, 2025. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I can make a motion that the following vouchers have been audited by the town board are hereby approved for payment. Claim numbers last 5426 through 5475 for a total of $144,380.47. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, town supervisor and board updates. I'll start today because I have something that's kind of going to segue from what we just saw here in the beginning of the meeting. So I guess and this has been systemic, and every municipality faces the problem that we have with enforcement. The reason it is because justice courts, and not their fault that exist in municipalities, don't have the power. They can adjudicate civil fines. Well, a lot of people use that system to keep getting reviolated because they know they're not going to come after them to pay it. So, and this is where I'm going to actually talk to Kara a little bit, because I get a little dangerous when I read the general municipal law. And I found out some things that I'm probably just going to make a statement about, but it's going to prompt you that we're going to have a discussion. So, general municipal law, section 380 specifically, allows certain municipalities to create administrative adjudication bureaus. What an administrative adjudication bureau is a due process hearing by the town board, like you just saw, in every manner of code enforcement violation, not to go back in front of the justice court again and languish, okay? Like I said, these are local boards like ours that handle the code violations as civil matters instead of criminal. And focus on matters that affect public health, safety, and welfare. I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm just going to hit the high points for you. Population limits are in effect here. So imagine having home rule, again, unapplied to a municipality because you're going to put a number like 300,000 in there, and any town or city over 350 can just do this on the fly with a local law. But towns like Tuxedo can't. So there's only 2 that are allowed to do this outside the 300,000 rule. And that's the city of Newburgh, whose population is 28,000, and the town of East Hampton in Long Island. Can imagine that, right? Who's 28,000, right? The only way to get this changed, and I've already reached out to our Senator Skoufis and Carl Bravenek, our assemblyman, is to get that limit removed, and we have to do that by Senate bill. Why is that important? Because your voice needs to be in it. We're gonna make this public, and we need you to make a lot of noise that we need to have this power at this board, or we're gonna risk going through years of trying to fix a problem that we cost us thousands of dollars just to get the special dispensation to do it this time. So I've done my homework. I'm gonna send it to you. Once again, I might be dangerous, but I mean, I definitely have collected the notes that I think are appropriate for us. And we were in deference to hiring a prosecutor for code enforcement, because all that would do would be, you know, put the hammer down on code enforcement, but it would only be assessed a financial fine, which in the end,
Yeah.
you see what happens, right? So I'm just trying to empower the communities. I want people to know, you know how many people don't know
Well, we didn't know.
that this is an issue, that it could be overridden? I mean, so the thing is, we could create a local law next meeting, introduce it, have a public hearing, everybody could agree. When we submit it to the Secretary of State, it's gonna get ripped up because it needs to be supplementally approved. So where do we go to fix this? We go to Schoofus. We go to Albany, right? So I've already put them on notice that that train's rolling, all right? So just a little FYI there, because we've been, a lot of times people will think that you have a weak governing system because we are limited to what we can really do. And we don't, we understand, I mean, but the people that we govern should also understand the limitations we're allowed to operate under with such restrictions in our home rule. This is our home rule. This is our right to exist as a municipality and govern as such. So that's all I have to say on that matter. We'll start at the end of the table over here and go with Chris Dolbon. Do you have any updates, sir?
Yeah, it has been brought to my attention recently that there have been some issues with garbage pickup, whereas the recycling and the trash are being picked up by the same vehicle at the same time. I would ask that it, and Dale, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I would ask that if you're noticing that, that is happening on your street or at your house or whatever, please let us know, so that we can bring that up with Interstate Waste. That should not be happening. And we would like to get that rectified. We have brought up the instances that we've heard about, but it's been brought to my attention a little further that it's a little more widespread than I had initially realized. So if you're noticing that, please bring it to the board's attention, so that we can properly deal with that situation. Other than that, it's budget season. We're working on the budget for 2026. We have workshops scheduled for, when are we scheduling the next one?
Next Tuesday?
Tuesday.
At
6
6
o'clock.
o'clock.
6 o'clock. If you'd like to come and.
Oh, by the way, that's what I had a note here to announce that, right?
If you'd like to come see how the, you know.
How the
process-
sausage is made?
I didn't want to say it, but it was on the tip of my tongue.
I'm sorry, while you're on that subject, I had a note. I have to announce that the budget public hearing, the preliminary budget public hearing was set yesterday at the workshop for Wednesday, November 5th at 7 PM, if you're interested to come see what that looks like. And if you'd like to entertain us with your comments, and we could try to address them, but just really working hard on that. Like you said, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to make sure I didn't forget that. Go ahead.
That's all I got.
Chris Casper.
On the budget workshop, just so everybody knows, we were here 3.5 hours last
Four.
night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you can come and go whenever you want. We were doing the work, but, feel free to stop by. I spent some time today, midstream on a little project that I got fired up about, the similar named streets
Yes.
between the village of Tuxedo Park and what's already in the process, in the system for the Tuxedo Reserves. I don't have enough details to report a finding yet, but.
Well, I think
I think it's
I don't think
resolved.
the public knows what,
However,
what
I
the
will
concern
comment
was.
that I also had some conversations about that, and I agree 100% with what you wrote. However, there is a question as to whether or not the Commons should be called the Village at Tuxedo. Of all things, that might be something to look at.
I agree with that
Yeah.
as well.
So-
So, yeah, I don't know if we were still waiting for anything legal back, so, but I'll.
No,
I'll go into
I
details.
got your
So-
comments
so-
and I totally agree.
So the Village of Tuxedo Park sent the town board a note that they are concerned that there are roads in Tuxedo Reserve, similar to Summit and Ridge. There's like a ridge trail, I don't have it off the top of my head.
Yeah, using
And-
the same word.
Yeah, and so they're concerned about emergency services and postal delivery. Apparently, they're already in the postal system and those addresses are already getting political.
Before they even
In
exist.
Tuxedo Reserve, so. I did talk to, the post office today and got a little bit of details, but again, I didn't flesh everything out yet. And I talked to one of the fire chiefs about it and I talked to Rockland paramedics about it too. Nobody seems overly concerned. As a firefighter, I'm not concerned, as long as people know where they are when they call, and most of the time it's GPS, so we have apps, tells us right where to go. Interestingly, I'll tell on myself, I responded to an automatic alarm as a firefighter the other day, to a Pine Hill address in Tuxedo Park, but I went to Pine Road. It was in the daytime, minimal manning, usually there's a chief there before the truck shows up, but I was just me. So, those are two similarly named roads in the village, creating confusion. Not necessarily, but anyway, I want to take the letter they sent seriously, and so we're doing some research on that, and
Right.
we'll figure that out. I also think, I don't know what the names are, but when you hear back from Mitch, the numbers, there's very few house numbers in the village of Tuxedo Park. Summit Road has there's a 1 or 2 that are in the 100s, everything else is 2-digit. So if their addresses are clearly a different number,
Okay.
then it should
That's
alleviate any
interesting.
confusion. However, I also think people generally write their full street name
Yeah.
on. Anyway, there's that, and then, yeah, I'm not ready to report on anything else.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Deirdre.
Okay, so, working on the New York Forward application, which we do, that's due at the end of the month. So.
Do we need a refresher on what that is?
So the New York Forward application is an application by the state of New York, which is designated to small municipalities of which we qualify for downtown revitalization. And there are several sections of it in which we apply for all those sections. It's for $4.2 million. Once we apply, they take a look at all of our business plans because we have business plans on pedestrian walkways, connectivity throughout the hamlet and Powerhouse Park. We're also including this year the Riverwalk that goes from the train station all the way down to the trails, meeting up with the trails at Harriman State Park. What are public-private partnerships that would work also? For example, putting together a program that would take the Methodist Church that's currently working with the Historical Society and coming up with something that would work for the public there. Another one would be possibly Red Apple Rest. We've asked for permission to extend our zone into Southfields. We're waiting to hear back if that's going to be acceptable. So everything that we do does require a business plan that we then supply, and then the state decides which ones they're going to fund and how much they fund it for. So unfortunately, we don't get to prioritize it, they do. But it is, it's big money. We were in the final round last year. We've been told that we had one of the best applications. So we've done a lot of work since last year. We've continued to work on all these programs. So right now, we're emphasizing economic development. And as a matter of fact, Dave and I met with a children's museum who's looking for a site in Orange County. And we took them to several sites in Tuxedo to show them some possibilities of if they were to come here. We also are talking to many of the local businesses about a very strategic marketing program in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce as well as state and local officials about getting a list and getting investors to come into Tuxedo for many of our sort of depressed areas which could use a lot of new business to come in, because we certainly do have the demographics as well as the visitors that could come in who would be able to support those businesses. And we actually had done a study to basically back up any of these plans. So that's what we're working on, and let's hope we get past the final round this time.
Yeah, I got great confidence.
Yeah.
Positive, power of positive thinking.
Power, yes.
Thank you, Deirdre.
Yeah.
Adam, you're up, sir.
Good evening, everyone. So I'd just like to start off with thanking all the department heads, and everybody, all the employees, the board, budget time, tough time.
That's a
And
tough
everybody's
time.
working really hard, so I appreciate that. Gas station project, I spoke with Vishal, yesterday. They're over there doing some siding. They haven't gotten too much accomplished, with that, over the past few weeks, but they are pushing forward with it. He had a change of heart, with the color of the fascia, I believe it is. He went from white to black, and he's adding some electric in there for some of these electric charging stations. Big thing on our end is fire hydrant for the water department. We did end up getting in contact again with John Ledwith, and we had to send him over the pressure test results that they had for that, and that was sent on October 15th, and we're just waiting to hear back on that. Vishal said he'd be more than happy to come to the meeting and report on what's been going on over there, and where they intend to go from here. Maybe give us a time frame, though I doubt that. But it looks like the meeting's on the 26th of November. I don't know, do we have the meeting the night before Thanksgiving?
No.
Okay, so
Thank you.
I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna try to get him for the first meeting in December. I did attend the Tuxedo Union Free School District Outreach Committee. It was the first one that they had. It was well attended, and it actually ended up being a great meeting. And I will have more details for that at our next meeting. Like I had said at the last meeting, Deidre and I did meet with the owners of the Red Apple Rest. Deidre also met with the realtor that's selling the property.
Yep.
And we have a meeting scheduled for this Friday to go over some things with them. But what I will say is we also spoke to them about their property maintenance up there in the Southfield region. And I drive by often to make sure that everything's being kept. And it looks way better than it did. So we're gonna continue to push on down that path to ensure that the property is up to snuff. I did reach out again to the post office about there's a parcel of land next to that the post office owns in between post office and liquor store building, that we wanted to try to purchase and turn into a parking lot, but, they're not interested in selling the property. So that's where we're at.
They
with
told you
Yeah,
that again?
They're not interested in selling the property. I asked them 4 times. Also,
So-
we were talking about this last night. I'm not sure if we have to do anything as a board, maybe at one of our next meetings, a municipal impound lot. tow
Yeah,
yard.
definitely
So
need that.
We'll talk about that. And, that is the end of my report.
Can I just add one? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Go ahead. Thank you.
I forgot to bring up one thing. We are pursuing putting a coffee shop in the train station. So it has been approved by the Department of Health, and now we have to make some modifications. Again, this will be from the LDC to get it up to code, to put a coffee shop in there. And the person who we have selected is the Tin Can. I mean, yeah, you see her in the parking lot down at the post office there.
Awesome stuff.
And so we're hoping to move that whole project forward and get that done by the end of the year. And the junction is almost done, but that will be a municipal parking lot. We just have to add the steps. And then we're going to be doing some landscaping and streetlights, so it'll be a very attractive site. And then we're gonna have, guess what? A party.
Yeah, well, we might
Yeah.
want to bait that right now
Yeah.
because it's what's not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday, was that November 1st or 2nd?
First.
So we wanted to launch that with a food truck. The guy's prepared. He's a really good chef. It's Mike from Mia's, what used to be in Monroe's. Monroe.
Suffern.
Sorry,
Suffern.
yeah. excellent chef, actually worked at the ranch over there on the outside, but you know what I'm talking about, the ranch, what do you call that again?
The ranch.
Formerly the Sister Servants?
Yeah, Sister
Yeah.
Servants. So we have the menu already. We just need to post it. I'll talk to you about that, Marissa, or maybe I can work with Kathleen. We need to get it out there now so we can get it advertised. It's gonna be more than just a food truck too. We're gonna have Reggie Bar component there. Possibly some little side music.
Street fair.
Little street fair with some information on the revitalization project. And hopefully committee members there to help us answer questions from any passersby that are interested in what's going on here. Because nobody's used to seeing anything happen there for a while, so that's all
Action.
good. Okay, everybody good?
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Public comments. Jerry?
3 minutes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, Jerry.
Is your light on?
I have three things to say.
Is your green light on?
Yes, it is.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, you were the only one that wasn't in the room when I talked to Chris and Adam about Optimum. There is a technician at our house on Saturday. Said they have the permits to run across Route 17. I got a phone call yesterday afternoon. They said the DOT wouldn't allow them to do it. So I don't know who's lying, but if we can get somebody here from Optimum, I'll gladly quiz them.
Well, we actually have a contact for Optimum. We could find out, but that's what we're being told that, didn't you get a fiber drop over there?
No,
Oh, you didn't. So you're like me up in nursery. I didn't either. All right. I can't see that that would be a barrier, the DOT, since they're running on easements along the side of the road. We can check. I mean, are you unsatisfied with Optimum, Jerry?
yes,
Well, unfortunately, we have a franchise agreement
I know.
for 10 years with them. So.
And
the
if
only
there's a
can
way
go
we
forward
could
is
break that,
improvements.
I'd be gladly to do it.
Thank you. What's your second?
Second point is, Adam, who'd you speak to at the Postal Service?
I have her name right here, actually. Stand by one. But go on, I'm listening.
Well, simply because it has to go through Washington for any land buying or purchasing.
I think they
or-
were the woman was from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. We used your contact and, that person had left.
Yeah,
And another person had taken on, so that's where Adam went.
because the new PMGs was FedEx.
The what?
He's new PMG, Postmaster General is,
Susanna Winstead.
I have to check on that.
She said she doesn't know Jerry. No, I'm kidding.
How dare she?
Could be the only person who
Yeah.
doesn't know me.
I was thinking about trying to go above, around, trying to figure out who's above. But I mean, Deidre was working on that for a while too. For some reason, they don't seem to want to sell it. So, or even develop it
Or lease.
or, yeah, do anything
Or
with it.
lease or approve it, or.
So,
Oh, I would talk to the PMG,
PMG,
yeah.
Postmaster General in LaFont Plaza in New York, in Washington DC.
His name is Steve or something like that.
his name's
The
what?
one guy that you gave me had left. It's
Yeah.
a new one. Yeah. the
They got rid of
What's
administrative-
it, Postmaster General? you said?
Postmaster General.
I guess we can't declare eminent domain on it,
No, we tried that. We did look into that.
I will reach out to them and I'll have, an update next meeting.
Okay, no problem.
And I hope fiber works out for you.
They call me every day saying, when you want to schedule the next appointment? I keep telling them, well, you have to
Well,
run
you know, to
the, run
Jerry's
the,
point, they did it to my mother-in-law. They scheduled the install of fiber. They climbed the pole, made the connection to the house, claiming it was up there, put the box inside, nothing worked because fiber is really not there. So who's doing that? What's going
What's
on?
amazing is it's on Mountain
Yeah, I mean,
Road.
that somebody actually came and thought that they were gonna do this.
Wow.
They're not even aware of their infrastructure. I mean, this is absurd.
Wow.
Is that just down in the hamlet or?
Yeah, you know what? I can't answer that question. I remember them stringing it. What was it, like?
I
3
remember
years
them
ago?
stringing it in
I
it.
don't have it.
You don't? So,
They
well,
stuck-
currently they have a line running across schoolhouse to Schoolhouse Road.
I know it came down this corridor here, Route 7.
And Tuxedo Reserve has lines running to them.
Tuxedo
we're-
Park has fiber?
No, Tuxedo Reserve.
Oh, the reserve, okay, yeah, I can imagine.
So
that.
obviously, we're halfway in the middle of both of them.
You know what the irony of it is that right behind that old Chase Bank is Comcast Northeastern Hub in that box there. And we have this, it's Comcast. We can't do anything. We're locked into a franchise agreement unless we figure out the attorneys to find a way out of it and talk to them first. So it's worth a discussion anyway. I'll get back to you on that, Jerry. What else?
Third question or point I have to bring up, Chris Casker, I was on the original 911 committee. Again, when it first came out, I was against it, totally against it. I'm still totally against it because there are too many road names that are similar and it wasn't done correctly in this town of Tuxedo and or Tuxedo Park. So if you want help, I can help you out.
How wasn't it done correctly?
Wasn't measured correctly. I'll give you one for instance.
Yeah, yeah.
East Village Road. You know, it goes under the thruway and there's a junction. East Village Road goes one way, Grove goes the other way. How can that be? Why can't it be named something else? And there's so many things
I
wrong
mean,
with
house
it.
numbers would help. I wouldn't have gone to the wrong house if they had a house number.
Well, Tuxedo Park does have house numbers.
If not displayed.
Not conspicuously displayed.
Not on this one house.
Well, that's because the Village of Tuxedo Park doesn't want,
Well, no, it was an individual. Plenty of people have numbers on their houses because they want people to be able to find the house when it's
we've been,
a challenge. in the
yeah,
first place. This one house though, was, long story, I got directions from the booth. First house on the right, I was on the wrong road. So, but if there's a number there, it wouldn't have been 5. And I would have said, that's not right. Anyway, it's okay.
Thank you,
It
Jerry.
wasn't an emergency.
so if you want help, I'll gladly help you out with that, because I gave Supervisor Millen a letter a long time ago of at least my points of view that were some
Well,
of
I
the
wouldn't
things
even
that
know the
wrong.
first thing about how to engage changing it, would you?
Well, it's
I mean,
already
it's-
listed in.
It's already, yeah, I mean, this
we'd
is
have
at the
to-
OC,
I
this
think
is
that's
at
a big
I
RG.
just don't know which roads are
big
already
deal.
listed. I don't know if all of them are partial.
Well, if you had to hold the names of the
Well,
town
Deborah
and
has
the
access to
village,
that,
She's not.
to the 911, because actually when we got that letter, she actually was inquiring about that. She was the one who took the plats and gave them the 911 and figured out all the numbering, so she must know an answer. We can get it from her when she comes back from vacation.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Jerry.
No, but I'm interested in.
I'll gladly help you
interpreting
out.
the whole thing, so if you can help. me
because I have a
understand.
big notebook like this thick of all the numbers.
That sounds like fun.
And I have all the house numbers of the Village of Tuxedo Park.
Okay.
So,
That's confidential information.
I'm retired.
Okay, that's a good answer. Thank you, Jerry. Anybody else?
John Bolton said that too.
Donnie, did you want?
I just had a question about the skate park, it's only, lots of parking over there. Is
The
there-
one over in East Village you're talking about?
It's because there's been chronic vandalism.
We have to figure out what to do.
We
with
have
that.
other problems about that. Call
Specifically
me.
dumping, illegal dumping.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and besides, the thing is in such disrepair, and every time they tried to fix it, it would be re-vandalized. It's kind of just like the bathrooms at the train station. We put tons of money in there and we open the door for the commuters and we're there, broken mirrors and fixtures.
Sinks off the wall.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate, you know?
Get rid of the skate stuff, just leave it for Fisher.
We have
Actually,
to-
that's a great idea,
We
by
have
the way.
to figure it out. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
There's no.
the issue is leaving the gate open. There's been chronically people going in there dumping, illegally dumping in that area. And that has resulted in it staying locked up. Unfortunately.
I guess you have to park, right? That's why the gate needs to be open, so you can park.
There's a parking area there.
Actually, didn't we talk
Yeah,
about moving the skate
otherwise,
park?
it's like parked by
to,
Powerhouse,
Yeah.
which is a bit of a.
Or we're just gonna get away with doing
We
it?
were
Yeah,
talking about.
it's pretty
eliminating-
unfortunate,
Okay.
really, because same.
What are we gonna do with that?
Like it's hidden back there.
Yeah,
Well, that's, yeah, it was a chronic
it's
issue.
not a place for little kids to be going there.
Any other comments in the room? How about out on Zoom? Any public comments? Open floor. Going once, going twice. Okay, with that, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:20 PM. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone, for coming this evening. And stand by. Don't go
Did you-
anywhere.
oh, one-
Vouchers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
actually, the vouchers
Yours.
that